Hello, welcome back and happy autumn. I think in my case, autumn is the perfect time to do a bigger life reset before the end of the year. And I thought to share with you what I do to switch myself from the laid back summer pace to a more fast and productive but also cozy autumn time. I think it's easier to get into the new rhythm if you go to school or start going to the office or something like that. But in my case, I work from home, I work for myself. So, regarding work wise, my only change is basically probably a bigger load of work, but there isn't really a big change in my life regarding work wise that will mark the beginning of September. So therefore I feel like I need to create the change myself. Then there is of course like the personal self-growth but also physical side of things that tend to change when we go from summer to autumn. Many times it's when people go to gym, but also maybe start meal planning if their lives get more fast and they don't have the time to cook at home. And for me, for the past 6 years, I can say my tradition is to go to a trip in September. I have always loved going on a vacation in September, even when I worked in an office back in the days, because when everyone starts to get back from their summer vacation, and the pace just starts to pick up, then it felt such a nice chance to prolong my summer and be away a week or two in September. So let's go over my autumn reset to-do list. Naturally, when the seasons change, we also change our wardrobe. And that's what I've been doing for the past couple of years, is that during the summertime I put away all my winter clothes that I don't need at the time, so that gives my wardrobe more space to have a good overview of what my seasonal clothes are, and that also makes me get the most use out of my clothes and also see what clothes I don't use. And what I do is I either sell those pieces online or I donate. And the less clothes I have, the easier it is for me to spot those items and to give away or sell. So what I now plan to do is actually go into my photo library a year back and see what kind of clothes I wore last year in September, October and November. So I know what are the items in my closet that I favor, I rely on them, and I will most likely wear them this year again. And for some time, for a couple of weeks, I've been seeing a lot of autumn related clothing inspo online and on social media. So what I've done is I have saved those looks that I really like. So I've been thinking about these items that I want to add to my wardrobe, but I'm also aware that I usually have more items in my wardrobe that I can or decide to wear throughout the season. So keeping it really minimal is the key in my case. Next up is personal development and personal growth. I feel a bit FOMO from all the people who go to school or start a new stage at the workplace. So what I've been doing is I've been playing with the idea of getting my master's degree, but it's still an ideal phase. And in my case, I feel like I learned so much from my everyday work, and I get those like practical cases, real life examples and case studies. But I've been toying with one idea I have of a master's course that starts in the beginning of next year. I don't know yet what I'm gonna do. The thought of it seemed appealing for me in the beginning, but I also have to be aware of the realistic side of it, so I will keep that in mind and see what I decide in the end. Autumn is also a good time to go to conferences or seminars and other events in your field and expertise to network, get new knowledge. I think it's also refreshing every once in a while to get out of your work bubble and see what others are doing, and it gives you like a new energy. Now, about vision boarding. Most of the people do vision boards in the beginning of the year when they set goals for the whole year. I do vision boards occasionally when I feel like it, but in the autumn I really can sense that it helps me to get my life together, set new goals, and actually make them real. So what will be on my vision board regarding myself, my self-development, and let's say also like physical activity? There definitely will be paddle, because I'm starting a paddle course next week, and I haven't done a group training like that in years. Once I finished my gymnastics career, whenever I work out myself, I've been lacking the group motivation and the feeling of training together. So there will be paddle, but I also want to train short distance running, because I don't really fancy long distance running, but I would like to get better and faster at short distance running. I hope by the end of this year I have more clarity on my health, because there are some things I've been struggling for the past 3-4 years, and actually this week I'm going to the doctor's finally to see what he has to say about it, or what should I do. I've been trying to solve it so far myself. I think I still need some expert opinion and guidance. I just want to say that if you have any health related issues or even questions or something you're not sure about, then I highly recommend checking out. Even if there isn't anything to worry about, at least you have your peace of mind. All my regular checkups, I do them around springtime, but this one, yeah, I hope I can get some clarity before the end of this year. Then moving on to home and garden, since I am a bit of green thumb myself, I have some plants, some flowers, vegetables, herbs and berries to take care of, and as well as the grass and the hedge. So I actually started my autumn to-do list regarding the garden today. Started pruning some lavender and planting new seeds for the autumn, because you don't have to end your vegetable garden season when the summer ends or when the first round of produce have come to an end. I'm still mastering the art of constant flow of new produce. It's definitely something I can get better at, but I'm moving towards it. So getting the garden in shape, preparing it for the colder temperatures, maybe planting some flower bulbs, so when the spring comes they will be ready to sprout and start blooming. Regarding home and interior, our home is really minimalistic, so we don't have many like interior elements or accessories to switch out seasonally, but I do have like seasonal favorite, for example bed linen and bed sheets that I tend to use more towards either the winter or the summertime. And also autumn marks for me the season of candles. Just overall doing a big clean in my kitchen, in the cupboards, maintaining home appliances, deep cleaning the coffee machine and so on. Yeah, just to get a clear view of everything we have in this house. Get rid of everything that's expired or broken. Just keep the things that we need. One topic I also want to add in this list is actually finance. What I mean by that is, in the summertime I personally tend to get more like exprompt spends, and I think right now is a really good opportunity to review your accounts, plan the future incomes, plan bigger spends for the rest of the year. And for example, if you want to increase your income, write down your plan for that and actually start making steps towards it. Because if you're not starting now, then most probably you are not gonna achieve it by the end of this year. So it's a really good time to remind yourself what your goals are, make it clear for yourself what you need to do to get there, and keep track on your journey. Don't be so hard on yourself, but keep yourself accountable, and whenever you have accomplished a step in your journey, then make yourself feel good about it. Another thing I do whenever the season changes is I go over all the products I use on my skin. And by that I mean skincare as well as makeup products, because I think most of us uses less makeup during the summer and a higher SPF, and also lighter products regarding skincare, moisturizer, oils and so on the skin. And when the temperature drops and the wind gets colder and stronger, I personally switched to thicker moisturizers, and it's also a good time to check if any of the products have expired. And finally, what I think is also as important as cleaning and organizing your home is actually cleaning and organizing your digital space. And what I mean by that is to go over the camera roll in your phone, to keep only those photos and videos that have a meaning for you, because sometimes I can burst like hundreds of photos in one session and I don't need to keep them all in my phone. Usually I also go over my hard drive and get rid of all the data that doesn't need to be there. So I'll go over my photo library, I go over the apps, and sometimes I get rid of the apps that I feel like steal my valuable time from me and actually don't give me much in return. Or I set those time limitations on the phone. So for example, on TikTok, I think I have like 15 minutes a day, and whenever I run out of the 15 minutes, it closes the app and gives me the warning, and then I have to click a button if I want to completely close the app or I want to return for the next 15 minutes. So at least it's a bit of interruption in your like constant flow of scrolling and consuming social media content or whatever content you want to limit for yourself. And the cozy and rainy autumn time is also a perfect time to get back into reading if you have been a bit absent from that during the summertime. In my case, I do have some physical books that I have bought but not read yet. And I also have an Audible subscription, which I actually paused in the summertime because I just didn't have the time to listen to the books. And now it's also a good time to start reading and listening to books again. I think everyone's path in life is different and we have different goals, different pasts. But what we can do is motivate each other and share our tips and tricks, what we do to be the best version of ourselves. And that's what I love to do on YouTube as well. I have found watching productivity day in my life videos quite motivating, because when I see someone doing really well in their life, going after what they want, I actually want to do it myself. And even though my goals are different, it just gives me that kind of energy and boost that I sometimes lack. And I think we all have those days where we just don't want to do anything productive. So I hope you found something inspiring from this video. And yeah, let's get our lives more organized. Let's move towards our goal. And if you have any other things that you are doing this autumn in this sense, then let me know. Thank you for watching and don't forget to subscribe. Bye!